that's the Russian garlic.
Right.
Hasn't gone to bulb yet, but all of that is just like a garlic.
Righto.
Slices like a leek, just like a garlic.
You can probably tell I'm in my absolute element. This is exactly how I like to cook. So today, instead of like showing you one recipe of how to cook that meat, how to do that salad, or how to do those apples, I'm gonna show you all three, and you're just gonna follow me on this little journey as we put a lot of stuff inside there and see how it comes out. So I've got some pork neck here, so it's quite a fatty piece of pork. It's got a lot of sinew through there, and we're gonna cook it nice and quick in there to about 70 degrees, and then glaze it up nice so it's nice and sticky at the end. So good whack of salt, some pepper, and then just a touch of olive oil, just to create a bit of contact with some heat. Whack him on, and that's going straight in our wood oven. Let this thing do all the talking. Pork glaze. Remember our honey that we got from B1/3? That's gonna be the base of our glaze. So throw a good couple of tablespoons into our bowl. Sticky wicky. Dijon mustard, we'll go in with a tablespoon of that. Fish sauce. Now, this is just gonna create a nice little salty kick and cut through all that richness of the honey and the Dijon. So I reckon about half tablespoon. And then ginger. I've lost my microplane, haven't I?
Life on the road.
Life on the road. Instead of just microplaning it, I'm now gonna have to chop it really, really fine. Okay, so our ginger's in there, our honey's in there, our mustard's in there. Good whack of salt. And I'm just gonna give it a quick taste. It's quite sweet. Just gonna add a touch of lemon juice. And for me, that's deliciousness. I've been blessed to get some Dutch cream potatoes straight out of that ground. I'm just gonna treat them really, really simply, but make sure they're absolutely tasty. This stuff, oh, duck fat. How good's that gonna be? Potatoes, salt, pepper, duck fat, rosemary, garlic. See you later. Like cooking, for me, this is it. This is absolutely it. Salt, good amount. Rosemary, just get it straight off that stem. Get our garlic. And we're just gonna split it down the middle. Maybe go one more, and they can go in. Pepper. And then go hard or go home. Pork, that's in the oven, and we've got our duck fat potatoes there in the oven. Just gonna have a quick look at our porky. She's been in there for about 10 minutes. Just epic. So we'll turn him now, because we want that caramelisation all around the piece of pork. See how that's, you know, sort of been steaming under there? We want that caramelised because that creates flavour. And I've got it now at the hottest part of the oven. Once it gets that caramelisation going on both sides, I'll just move it to the front here, move our timber around, and just let it cook nice and gently. Now, the next one, I'm going to use these beets. We're going to roast them pretty simply, as well as some courgettes. In the oven, then we're going to go preserved lemon, some capers, some lemon, some olive oil, salt and pepper, and a bunch of herbs from the garden. Pretty simply with these guys, salt, pepper, olive oil, and let that thing do all the talking. So this is a bull's blood.
Right. Deep red.
And you use the bull's blood leaves, yeah? Yeah, I've used them a lot, but I don't think I've used the...
Yeah, the deep rich. And then the other one you have is called Chioggia. And if you cut it across the... that way, then it has the concentric rings.
Yeah. Get these into some manageable pieces, cut the cooking time down. So our beets can go in the oven. They'll probably take about half an hour. The one thing about cooking over coals and cooking in a wood oven is that, you know, the temperature changes very often, and arrange our food in there accordingly to that. Apples can go in next, so we've just got your regular Granny Smith. We're gonna chop it in half. We're just gonna slice a little bit of a base so it doesn't roll around, and then repeat. And then we're just gonna grab some thyme, just be quite rough and ready. And just give each apple a good knob of butter. The apples are gonna just puff up like little souffles. If you didn't have a wood-fired oven, you could put your oven on, you know, 220 and get all this done. And then we're just gonna grab some of that B1/3 honey and go to Drizzletown. Looking pretty solid right now. So we're gonna pull that out to the front because you can basically just tick away now, and we really want to get some colour on those guys. So apples, see ya. So our little roasted beet salad is still coming together. The more I sort of look at a few things, the more I want to add to it. Christine, what kind of onions are these?
Red Creole.
We're going to treat these pretty simply like a leek or a spring onion. We're just going to do that to it. Wasn't hard. Everyone can do that. Okay, I reckon we can probably lay these over the top of our beets. So we'll bring those guys out and then just scatter them. It just looks good, doesn't it? Jack, it just looks good. No? Cool. We're gonna grab our pork out. That's probably 85% there. So now it's time to get that glaze all over it. All that drippings, just keep basting it with that. Because that's all flavour. Righto, back in she goes. Let's take a look at our veggies. So I've just covered these beets just to create a little oven inside an oven. They're there. So these can be set aside. Our zucchinis, they're done, but I just want to get these capers in there just to take away that raw flavour. I'm just going to basically fry these capers. That fire looks good. Pass me the fire lighters. Then just move them around with that. Okay, everything's coming together. Taters, they pretty much speak for themselves. They've been in duck fat with that garlic, rosemary, and a pinch of salt. There's our apples. So they're nice and charred and caramelised from that honey. The thyme's there, the butter's there, they've collapsed, they're soft, they're done. Our roast veggie salad. So we've got our different types of beets, we've got our onions, we've got our zucchinis, I've thrown in some Brazil nuts, and we've got our fried capers. I've got parsley and I've got basil. And then I've got a dressing, which is just lemon juice, olive oil, mustard, and a little bit of preserved lemon. As usual, salt and pepper. Now we're just gonna give that a little toss, and then we'll just grab a bowl and get him. And then I think we've just got the big boy. Here's our pork neck with our honey and mustard glaze. I'd just take that to the table and carve it at the table. So, what do you reckon, boys?